Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sri Raghavam Dasaratmajam Aprameyam Sitapatim Rahupalanvaya Ratnadevam Ajanubaham Aravinda Talaya Taksham Rama Mishasara Vinashakaram Namami. You're able to hear me clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Whenever the Lord wanted to show his mercy and compassion, he doesn't do it by himself. He always needs another person so that he can show his full mercy upon all of us. That one person, which is very important to activate Krishna's or Rama's mercy upon us, is Mother Sita. Without Mother Sita's being with Rama, it is a challenge for anyone to get the Lord's mercy. If she's not there, then it is very doubtful that we will get the Lord's mercy. You've been studying Ramayana past few days this week, where Lord Ramachandra appeared along with his three brothers, Bharata, Lakshmana, and Shatrughna, and they grew pretty fast because Valmiki does not give the details of their childhood pastimes. There's not much. All the years passed very quickly in one sloka. They grew up very unitedly together, and then comes a change where Vishwamitra comes and requests Dasaratha to send Rama. And Dasaratha, with a lot of hesitation, and finally he agreed because Vasishta also said, you can send with Vishwamitra. It is your sons who are going to benefit by going with Vishwamitra. Like buy one and get one free. He only asked for Rama, but Lakshmana joined as well. On the way, Vishwamitra told many stories about different places they visited. And then also they approached a place where Vishwamitra does his yagya. And then over there, Tataka comes. And under the instruction of Vishwamitra, Rama kills Tataka. And then Maricha and Subhahu come. He chases away Maricha to a far distance by his arrow. And then Subhahu was killed. After this yagya was over successfully, Vishwamitra decided to continue his journey further. At that point of time, he told Rama that thanks for coming and helping me to complete my yagya. If you wish to return back to Ayodhya, you please do so. And Ramachandra, in his mind, he was thinking, well, you got your work done. What about me? I have an important thing to take care. So he didn't say like that, but then he was thinking, well, we will accompany you. We'll come with you. And Vishwamitra, as he got his message from Mithila, an SMS message that there's going to be a Swayamvara for Mother Sita. So he was going to attend that program, and he also decided to take Rama and Lakshmana along with him. And he enters over there. They were very welcomed very nicely by Janaka Maharaja. And then They were in the hall. They were being given a special seat to sit. They were sitting, and the Swayamvara was that where Janaka was trying to find a suitable husband for his daughter, who was very aged by then, because he was very depressed that his daughter is getting old, so he couldn't find a suitable husband for him. So he was just waiting who that husband is going to be. But then when Vishwamitra came with these two young boys, Sanandana, Sananda was the minister of Sanandana was minister of Janaka, like how Sumantra was chief minister, special minister for Dasaratha. So over there, he Vishwamitra was telling to him about Rama and Lakshmana, that they are sons of Dasaratha and their skills and etc. But then Janaka's minister did not pay much attention. He didn't feel much attractive about anything anyway. So he understood none of this thing is going to attract him. So Vishwamitra said that Rama, the person who's standing here, is the one who removed your mother's curse. And then as soon as when he heard this one, he became very, very happy. And he became happy. And then he started talking to Rama and Lakshmana and gave them a special place to sit and so forth. At that point, they brought the special bow over there in the hall. And the history of the bow was told to everyone. And the challenge is that whoever lifts and ties the string across the bow will be selected husband for Mother Sita. Being said that, many people tried, they couldn't do anything with that. They couldn't successfully lift it. And then Vishwamitra looked at Rama and he just said that, look at that bow. That's all he said. He didn't say anything else. He just said, the bow is right there. And then when he said, because he was turning towards these two boys and said, Lakshmana immediately got up. And then Vishwamitra said, oh, don't change the program, the Ramayana story, you please sit. And then he said, Rama, you go. And then Rama went over there without any difficulty. He just lifted the bow, and while he was trying to tie the string, it just broke. It broke because it already a cracked bow. It is a cracked bow. So easily it got broken. Janaka became very happy, and then he came in front. And then Mataji, I also sent you a presentation. If we can open that up. And then he spoke to, he came to Rama, and then he called his daughter. So if we go to the, just keep moving. So this is all we saw. This is the bow, and Rama broke the bow. And here it is. And now, an interesting sloka, which has a deep meaning and importance. So I thought we will spend some time on this particular sloka, where Janaka is introducing his daughter Sita Devi to Ramachandra. He says, Iyam Sita Mama Suta Sahadharma Charitava Pratichache Inam Bhadramte Pani Grinishva Panina. A beautiful sloka. Many great saints have written a lot of commentary on this sloka. He says, Iyam, this Sita, Mama Sutha, my daughter. This Sita is my daughter. Saha Dharma Charitava. Saha means along. Dharma Charitava means walks along with Dharma, in the path of Dharma. Pratichacha means without any delay, without any delay. Inam Badramte, I wish you all blessings. Pani Grinishwa Panina, hold her hand. Hold her hand means get married. That's what it means. In marriage ceremony, people usually give a lot of importance to Mangalya Dhara. In many, they Mangalya Sutra, right? They tie the husband ties a Mangalya Sutra on his wife. But that is really not very important part. The important part in marriage is Pani Grahana. Pani Grahana means holding, giving hand. The father gives his daughter to son-in-law. Pani Grahana. And another important thing in marriage ceremony is Saptapati. The 7 steps that the wife takes and keeps. As she takes and keeps, there are mantras which is chanted by the husband in the beautiful mantras. Anyway, so there are marriage ceremony that how happens. So when the hand is given to the boy, that means they're already married. That's how it is. Now he says that Panin Trinishwa Panina. Get hold her hand. Take her palm in your palm. This sloka, if you see here, Iyam, this. Janaka Maharaja says, this. What is the reason that Janaka has to point out Sita? Because Sita was standing right in front on the side of Rama. She's not somewhere else. She's right there. But then he's saying that this, Iyam, this, why does he say that? Did Rama could not see Sita is present there? Why is he has to say that? He could have simply told that Sita is here, Sita, this is Sita, or here Sita, and then you just marry her. The reason is because there are many, many beautiful reasons given just for this Iyam, the term called Iyam. We're going to see at least 3 of them here. There are many, many interpretation to each of these terms here, but we'll just keep it short and see only few of them. Rama was quite proud about his appearance. Right? How many times when we go in front of the mirror, don't we think that, today I'm looking pretty good. My hairstyle is like this. We try to do all sort of things. Like we ourselves think we are beautiful, handsome, right? But what about Rama, who's, the abode of beauty? So Rama always has thought that he is more beautiful, handsome. So therefore, he never keeps his head down. Always he's like this, thinking he's so handsome. So therefore, Janaka has to bring him back his vision from top to down. He said, not there, here, Iyam, over here. And then the second reason why he says is that because the first time when Rama saw Sita in the balcony, she was standing on the balcony. Rama was looking at Sita and Sita was looking at Rama. After that sight, the first sight, for Rama, everything was Sitamayam. Whomever he sees, only sees Sita. Doesn't matter who it is. So he doesn't know now to whom to garland. Because for him, everyone is Sita after seeing Sita for the first time. Therefore, Janaka says, Iyam, here, this is Sita. Not that is not Sita, this is Sita. Iyam Sita, Iyam Sita. So also sometimes what happens, why do we keep remembering seeing, when you see something, we always remember in 2 cases. One is, if we are afraid of something, then we always remember that thing. While sleeping, while walking, while eating, we always remember when we are frightened of something. Or when we are joyful of something, while we are sleeping, while we are eating, while we are walking, we think about that thing, right? In both cases, that's how people try to remember things. Having the wedding hand in his hand, now Rama is thinking, whom should I garland? Therefore, he says, Janaka says, Iyam, over here. And then he says, the third reason is, he was searching for a suitable husband. Janaka was searching for a suitable husband everywhere. And no one really matched his daughter. Finally, forcefully, he has to pick someone. Who's that? Rama. Not because Rama is equal to Sita. Out of many people went and came, Rama is little better than others. That is why Janaka picked Rama. Therefore, he says, EM, look at here. Don't think you're great. Look at here. My daughter is greater than you. He says this one. Now, Rama says, all that is fine. What is great about your daughter that I have to get married to her? I am Dasaratha's son, Ikshvaku dynasty. I have great brothers, 3 brothers. I am a disciple of Vashishta. I am a son of an emperor. So, what is so special, great about your daughter? Then he says, Sita. That itself brings a greatness. Sita. What is great about Sita? Well, why didn't Janaka did not say Maithili, Janaki? He could have told any of other names, but then he used Sita, Sita, Mama Sutta. He said Sita. What is the purpose of he saying Sita? Because to tell how Sita was born or appeared. Right? That itself very special. Sita was appeared by the special puja that was done by Janaka Maharaj by plowing the field, the sharp edge of the plow by which they were doing the plowing the field. That's how a baby was got, and therefore a name was Sita. And interestingly, another reason is because Rama was born to Kausalya, but Mother Sita was not born to anyone. She just appeared. Therefore, he said Sita. Sita is greater. Even after telling so many things about his daughter, Rama was still thinking, well, beauty is okay, appearance is good, everything is fine, but all these things are temporary. Right? If you just go back 20 years back, pick up your photo and see, you'll be thinking, wow, was I like that? Am I like this now? Right? So therefore, our beauty and appearance and all those things doesn't really matter because it's going to constantly change. We are not going to look the way we are looking now after a few years. Therefore, he says, that is all fine. But that is not going to be the primary reason for me to get married to your daughter. Beauty is not what I'm looking for. What do you look for then? Is she coming from the good family? Then he says, Mama Sutta. He says, Mama Sutta. My daughter. She's my daughter. So what about that? If she's your daughter, so what's great about it? The greatness of Janaka Maharaj is that, as we know when we read Bhagavad Gita, it is said that one should be free of mamakara. Mamakara means the possessive nature, that this belongs to me. Because when we try to think that this belongs to me, then we are getting attached to that one, and we are further get entangled into this material pool. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita always teaches us that one should not be attached, one should not have mamakara. And in Karma Yoga section in the 3rd chapter, Krishna takes a couple of people's name as an example to explain who are the great Karma Yogis. 2 people example he takes. One is Janaka Maharaj. Another one is himself. He speaks about himself. So Janaka Maharaj is considered to be the great saint, even though he is in the family life, taking care of everything, administration and being a king. But he was considered to be a great person who did not have any mamakara. The mamakara means one should not say, this is mine. Such a person over here in the sloka says, Mama Sutta, this is my daughter. Right? How can he say that? I'll just tell a short story about Janaka Maharaj, and then how we can see how great he is. One time, Yajnavalkya, who was a guru of Janaka Maharaj, he regularly comes to Janaka's palace and gives a lecture. And then all the disciples of Yajnavalkya thought that the Guru has a special corner for Janaka Maharaj because he is a king. Therefore, they were not very happy with this Guru. But the Guru, understanding the disciples' mood, he created an illusory um, break of fire. The entire palace, as if the entire palace was burnt, getting burnt. All the disciples of their brahmacharis and some sannyasis, they all ran out for their life. But then it was just Janaka Maharaj who was sitting continuously and hearing to his Guru's lecture. After some time, all the disciples came back and the Guru asked, why did you all run? Well, it was fire, so we ran. But he turned towards Janaka Maharaj and asked, why you did not run? Well, if I run, then what did I learn from your message? You already told us we are not this body. If I lose this body, my Atma is not going to die anyway. Therefore, I'm not attached to the body. That is why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna takes Janaka Maharaj's name over there. And Janaka Maharaj had a Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means where you have things, you have not renounced things, but you're not attached to it. That is called Yukta Vairagya. There are people who doesn't want to touch money, go in the car, live in the house, etc., etc. That's a different type of yogis. Whereas in actual Krishna consciousness, we do not renounce anything. Rather, we try to utilize those things that we have in the service of Krishna. And that is called Yukta Vairagya. That's called Yukta Vairagya. Therefore, when Janaka Maharaj was telling that Mama Sutta, he was so proud to have a daughter who have such a great devotion and qualities, and who is going to be the wife of the Supreme Lord, Ramachandra. In that way, he was very happy. So, therefore, he said, Mama Sutta. And another glory of Sita was she was unborn and also she was born. One can say she is unborn because she did not take a normal birth. Normal means like the birth that we all take. At the same time, she is also daughter of Janaka Maharaj. Therefore, she is unborn as well as born. Then Rama says that, well, I understand about her beauty. I understand she's coming from the good family, but that is not enough. Janaka said, what else you want from my daughter? Well, I want to know about her character, about her attitude. How is she with the family members? Will she follow my path? Or after marriage, she will start doing her own things, right? Before marriage, there will be an interview session between the boy and girl. The boy calls from US and the girl will be somewhere in India. And the other way around, whatever it is, they call, they ask, what is your hobby? What do you do in a free time? And, it be very nicely matching many times, many things. And then after marriage, you will come to know nothing matches. Everything is opposite. Your interest is different from her interest. What you want to do now, she want to do something else. She want to go to temple and you want to go to movie, right? You want to have spicy food and she want to have sweet food. So many different things happens. Therefore, he says, Rama is asking, she's beautiful, I understand. She's coming from a good family, I understand. Now, what about herself? Will she follow my path? Or is she going to be having her own lifestyle? Because when we go in a trip somewhere on a road trip, in a car, there is one driver and rest of them are passengers. The driver is driving the car to a destination and the whole passenger is going towards that destination. For some reason, if the passenger says, no, I don't want to go this way, I want to take 270. And the driver is telling, no, I want to take 44. And the backside person is telling, I'll go on the 70. No, we take 141. So many people start telling different routes. Then there's going to be the journey is going to be uncomfortable journey. And we may not even reach our destination. Therefore, it is so very important that what Rama is asking over here, that what about her? Will she follow me in my path? For that, Janaka Maharaj says, Iyam Sita Mama Sutta Saha Dharma Charitava. Saha Dharma Charitava. Tava means you, along with you. If you walk in the path of Dharma, Rama, if you walk in the path of Dharma, Dharma Charitava, she, Saha means along with you, she will also walk. If there's a condition over there, please note that. If you walk in the path of Dharma, she will walk along with you. Okay, then what? What in case if I don't walk in the path of Dharma? Well, she will pull you into the path of Dharma. That is why she is Saha Dharma Charitava. And we can see that in the story where we will be seeing later, that when Rama has been told to go to forest, Mother Sita said, I will also come along with you. And then Rama said, no, you cannot come. Forest is very dangerous, very difficult. You are like a lotus petal. You cannot survive over there. And Mother Sita said, well, don't worry about those things. When I was born, it has been already told to me that I have some period of life in the forest, Vanavasa. Therefore, I'm already packed and kept everything ready for your information. Here is the baggage. Everything is ready. We can go. And then Rama says, just coming to the forest is not enough. Then what do you want to do? Will you do whatever I do? And Sita and then Janaka was thinking that, what do you mean? You only allow people and appreciate people and bless people if they surrender unto you. That is what even in Bhagavad Gita it is said, right? Sarva dharman parityaja sloka. When you surrender to me, I will remove all your papa and you will attain me. And mitra bhavena samprapam natyajettim katam chana dosho yati apatasya syat satam yetat aharhitam sakriteva prapannaya tava asmi iti che yachate abhayam sarva bhutebhyo tadami yetat vritam mama. When you surrender to me, I will forgive your offenses, I'll forgive you, and I'll accept you. And this is what Rama says. But my daughter, she doesn't even know who the person is. No one have to even come and ask for any forgiveness, but she forgives those people. That is the greatness of my daughter. Where can we see this? In Yuddha Kanda, when Hanuman comes to take, after killing Ravana, when Hanuman comes to take Sita back to Rama, he was there, and then he says that, can you please give me a permission? And Mother Sita said, what do you want? With your permission, I want to kill all the Rakshasis who tortured you so much. And then Mother Sita says that, Papanam va subhanam va vadarhanam pavalan ghanam. He says that Papanam va subhanam va vadarhanam plavangama. Karyam, he says that whatever the reason may be, but these people who have been appointed to torture me, but they are just getting salaried, they're getting paid. Why do you want to torture them? Tomorrow, when Vibhishana becomes king, he is going to pay them as well, and he's going to tell them to honor me, and they're going to honor me. So it's none of their problem. Therefore, there's no need for you to do anything to this Rakshasi. So Janaka was explaining about Sita, how she is Sahadharma Charitava. Whereas Rama forgives people under condition. Whereas Sita doesn't require any condition. She simply forgives anyone and everyone. We can see from in Ramayana, can you think about a most criminal person in Ramayana? Who could be the most criminal person in Ramayana? You can just put in the chat or you can speak. Ravana. Right? Everyone agrees? But it was not Ravana. Ravana was much decent person. But there was a most exactly, Kakasura, who was son of Indra, because Ravana did not really torture in physical ways to Mother Sita, but it was Kakasura who really tortured Mother Sita. But then when he fell at the feet of Rama, Rama forgave him. But he forgave only because of Mother Sita was present next to Rama. If Mother Sita was not there, Kakasura would have gone. He would have been killed for sure. So we can see that how Rama gives his blessings, how Mother Sita gives her blessings. And then Rama said, I understand. Again, he says, I understand all these things. Now, what do you want me to do? He asked his father-in-law, to be father-in-law, what is that you want me to do? And he says, Praticha, Praticha. He says that just get into it. Don't delay any further. Just take an attempt. And then he said, what do you want me to do? He said, though Rama was convinced, he was little hesitant to proceed further, because if it is a Krishna avatar, he wouldn't mind who's standing next to who, nothing. If he sees a girl, he just takes and goes away. That is Krishna's avatar. But in Rama avatar, being little proper, he just want to be obedient to his father and follow the dharma in a way it's been prescribed in the scriptures. Therefore, he was little shy to proceed further. Therefore, he was standing close to Janaka, not close to Sita, for that reason. Therefore, Praticha, he said Praticha, with great expectation, you have to proceed. And then how much ever we tell, finally, Rama, it is you who have to make attempt and decide and catch hold of my daughter's hand. You are saying this one. And the reason that he says that is because Mother Sita is great in many ways. If you delay, then that's not good. It's an insult. In which way she is great? In when Hanuman went to Lanka, before Hanuman went to Lanka, Rama told to Hanuman that I cannot live without Sita for a moment. And then when Hanuman went to Sita, Sita said, I cannot live without Rama after 1 month. You can see the difference here. Rama said, I cannot live without Sita for a moment. And Sita said, I cannot live without Rama after 1 month. Then you can understand here who is greater here without even being told, right? Sita can stay longer without Rama. Rama cannot stay anymore without Sita. That means who's precious, who's greater? It is Sita, right? So these are all beautiful interpretations and commentaries given as Janaka is trying to express this one, which is later going to come. But then we have to enjoy this in a way of how the mood of the commentators are. So therefore, Janaka said, you both have to get married soon. Inam means this, do not delay any further. When Lakshmi is coming to your house, you don't close your door. You have to let her in. So Lakshmi is coming to you. And without Sita being with you, you cannot really be famous. In other words, your simplicity, your greatness, your gambiriam means your greatness of how strong you are, your viriam, your beauty, none of those things is going to be of any great use if you don't have Sita on your side. Therefore, I bless you. Badram te means I bless you. Jaya Gosha means Jaya. Jaya Jaya, I'll bless you with all my heart, that you both get married and live happily. And Rama said, okay, your blessing is also good. Thank you for that. But what do you want me to do now? Now Janaka says, Panim Grinishwa Panina. Panim Grinishwa Panina. Hold her hand by your hand. It's a quite interesting statement. This is hold her hands by your hands. Janaka did not say that by your hand, hold her hand. You must be thinking what difference that is make. Whether you hold, Rama holds by his hand first, or her hand comes first. How does it really matter? But then the commentary says beautifully. It says that her hand is mentioned first. Sita's hand is mentioned first, and Rama's hand is mentioned second. Why? Because her hand is has greater prabhava, greatness compared to Rama's hand. That is why it is mentioned before. For example, when you write a statement, but whatever plays an important role, whichever is considered to be greater, that has to be placed first, and the least one comes next in the order. For example, when you read Bhagavatam or any other scripture, when the description of the Lord has been given with 400 form, Shanku, Chakra, Gada, Padma. That is the order has been given, right? Shanku, Chakra, Gada, Padma. We all worship to Chakram, Chakra, Sri Chakra, Chakra Tarva, right? But then Chakra was not mentioned before. Shankar, the conch shell, has been mentioned before. That means the conch shell is much greater in its position than Chakra. Why? Few reasons. One reason is because the Chakra at times makes a frequent travel, right? When Krishna wants to kill someone, he doesn't send the conch shell to go. He sends a chakra. He releases the chakra, it goes, chops off, and comes back in its position. There are situations at given time where it goes and comes. Whereas we don't see that situation for conch shell, Shankar. Shankar never leaves the Lord. Therefore, it is great. The second reason why the Shankar is great compared to Chakra is because the Shankar has tasted the beautiful lotus lips of Krishna. We never seen Krishna holding the chakra to his lips over here. Never ever we've seen that one. Therefore, compared to Shankar and Chakra, which is greater? Obviously, Shankar is greater. Therefore, that is the reason whenever we read any of the stotrams and sloka, we see Shankar, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Shankar comes first, which is considered to be greater. Therefore, over here also, Panim Grinishwa Panina. Hold her hand. Her hand comes first. That means it's superior. By your hand. That means your hand is a level lower compared to her hand. Lord's hands is always referred to lotus hands, right? Lotus feet, lotus hand. Lord's hand is considered to be referred as lotus hands. You know what is the what about Mother Sita's hand? It is not lotus hand. It is red lotus. Not simply lotus. Reddish lotus flower. Your hand becomes reddish when you do a lot of work, right? Her hands become reddish by giving her blessings to her children constantly. Therefore, compared to Rama's hand, Mother Sita's hand is much more reddish because she doesn't have any condition. And what's the other different? Why is Mother Sita hand is higher compared to Rama's hand? Is because this is called Abhaya Mudra. There are different mudras there. This is called Abhaya Mudra. In Abhaya Mudra, there is saying that Ma Suchaha. Abhaya Mudra means I will save you, do not fear. Ma Suchaha. If you go to any Vishnu temple, you can find the Lord's hand like this. Different mudras are there. One of the thing is like Abhaya Mudra, means do not fear. And then you see the deity next to the Lord, Mahalakshmi is seated. She will also have her hand like this. That is also Abhaya Mudra. So he is also saying showing Abhaya Mudra, and Mother Lakshmi is also showing Abhaya Mudra. But the meaning is different. The Lord says, do not fear, Ma Suchaha. Do not fear of your Papa and Punya. I will finish them. Do not fear. I know you're coming here. You want to surrender to me, but you're afraid of your Papa. Therefore, do not fear. That is understandable. Then when you go to Mahalakshmi, she is also saying, do not fear. What is she going to tell now? She is telling that do not fear of that person told you not to fear. Right? Do not fear about that person who told you not to fear, because he's unpredictable. Something he will say today, he will do something else. Don't be afraid of that person. I will save you. Right? I will save you. That's what the Abhaya Mudra means here, over here. Not only that, when we compare the eyes of the Lord, the Shastra says that in the Isha Upanishad also we read this one, where one of the eye is like Surya, another eye is like Chandra, sun and moon. One eye of the Lord is sun, another eye of the Lord is moon. The eye which is like sun is to destroy the people like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, and so forth. And the eye which is like moon gives a cool rays for devotees like Prahlad, Dhruva, Vibhishana, Vidura, and so forth. That is how the Lord's eyes are. What about Mother Sita's eyes? Both the eyes are cool. It's not like one eye is hot, another one is cool. Both the eyes are cool for her. She doesn't know what anger means at all. That's how she is. Therefore, Mother Sita, in many ways, greater. Therefore, her hand has been mentioned first. And it is only by the mercy of Mother Sita that we can get the mercy of Lord Ramachandra. She is called Purushakara. Purushakara means one who sends a recommendation letter on our behalf to the Lord. The Lord, when we try to go to the Lord first, is going to ask, do you have the recommendation letter? Right? Reference letter, recommendation letter. And if you don't have it, he's not going to do anything. He said, see you, bye. And then when we have the recommendation letter signed by Sita, then the Lord doesn't even read the details. He just takes it. That is why it is said Purushakaram. Purushakaram means she is the one who stands between us and Rama, who connects us. Like when the father and the son gets into arguments and fight, it's mother who connects the father and the son by some means. It's the same thing. We are all somehow or the other, fought with Krishna, or we don't want to be with Krishna, right? It is Mother Sita who's trying to connect us back together. That is why here Janaka Maharaja said, Panim Grinishwa Panina. Another meaning it is said that Janaka Maharaj is saying that you hold her hand, but later you can hold her feet. Don't try to hold her feet now, hold her hand now. In marriage ceremony, one of the ritual is that after certain things, the husband should hold the feet of the wife and keep it on a stone. And then he has to put a toe ring to the wife's toe. So Janaka Maharaj says that Panim Grinishwa Paninam, now you please hold only the hand, not the feet. That time when it comes, you can hold the feet. And another meaning is saying that Panim Ganeshwa Panina, now you hold the hands, Later, when you both are alone in your room, you can put your head on your feet. No one is going to question you. That time you can put your head on her feet. Now you simply hold her hand. That is enough in public. Don't do anything else other than this one. Right. And after this has been said, Rama held the hand of Mother Sita. But then even before that, he was just saying that, all these are good, but I would not accept a girl without a permission of my parents. That's what he says. Without the permission of my parents, I will not marry. Therefore, the message has been sent to Ayodhya and Dasaratha, all the queens, everyone, they all came to Mithila. And the marriage was, a cost-effective marriage was happened. The most cost-effective marriage, right? So you can see over here, a beautiful picture, right? Next. And over here, what is the cost-effective marriage? Now, this was only between Rama and Sita. Now, when the three brothers came, they all got married to Sita's sister and cousins, Urmila, Mandavi, and Sutakirti. They respectively got married. They all were happy, married together. But then the people over there, this happens. I don't know, this happens in every part of India, in over here also. There was always, marriage is very good, but there will always be some problems between the boy side and the girl side. Some problem will happen somewhere. Even if the boy side and boy parents and girls parents are good, the relatives will start up something. They will tell, look at that. I thought they gave a ring, but the ring is missing. They told diamond earring, but it's a fake diamond. They will see something or the other. They'll catch it. Worst case, they will say the food is not nice. The last thing that the last weapon that they have is, the server did not give us a salt. They got a cheap guy catering. They will complain. Something or the other will come in the marriage, right? Likewise, the Ayodhya party and Mithila party were together, right? The Ayodhya Vasis, they said, your Sita requires 1,000 eyes for rest of our life to look our beautiful, handsome Rama. This is what Ayodhya Vasi said, that because they are on the side of Rama, they felt that Rama is beautiful, handsome, great, but not Sita. They will not agree to that one, right? So Ayodhya Vasi said, your Sita needs 1,000 eyes to look on our Rama for rest of our life. Mithila Vasi said, that is nice. Therefore, Ayodhya Vasi said, therefore, your Sita only has 2 eyes. Please go ask her to borrow 998 eyes and come back to our city, Ayodhya, before she comes to Ayodhya. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for her. And Mithila Vasi said, well, our Sita needs 1,000 eyes for rest of the life to see Rama. But your Rama requires 1,000 eyes every moment to look at our Sita. That means what? This minute, 1,000 eyes. Second minute, not the old 1,000. That's gone, useless. He has to have another 1,000 eyes. Third minute, another 1,000 eyes. That means that is the greatness of our daughter Sita. Like that, they were just having beautiful conversation to and fro. Who is great? Is Rama is great or Sita is great? Sita is great or Rama is great? There's an example has been given where diamond, we all value diamond, right? It's an expensive stone, gem. So we all value diamond. But if the diamond doesn't shine, glitter, will you buy it? Will you buy a diamond which doesn't glitter? No, right? We will not buy it. But for the diamond to glitter, it is not the capacity of the diamond. The capacity of the diamond is brought out to glitter by another object which is outside the diamond, which is the light. If the light is not there, the diamond cannot glitter. But just by having light, but not the diamond, nothing is going to glitter. Therefore, light is also needed, diamond is also needed, Rama is also needed, Sita is also needed. We cannot say who is great, whether Mother Sita is great or Rama is great. They both play an important role. They work together. They constantly talk about us, right? When parents get together, if you have children, right, and your children have gone out studying some other place or working out of the country, like us, most of us, right? We are in this country, our parents are in India. When they eat, they think about us, especially if they are eating some item which we like, they will think, oh, my daughter likes this one, my sons like this one. When they sleep, they make sure they call or message or whatever it is, like they constantly think. Likewise, Mother Sita and Rama, when they are in ekantam, means they are together with no other disturbance, they think about us. What can we do to attract us, bring us back to their lotus feet? And that is what they discuss. And with the mercy, we certainly need Mother Sita's mercy. And this sloka specifically glorifies Mother Sita and Sita with Rama. Without Sita's mercy, we cannot approach Ramachandra. She has to give the recommendation letter. Iyam Sita mama sutta sagadharma charitava partichacha inam bhadram te paninam rinishva panina. With that said, then marriage happened. They all very happily departed from that place, going towards Ayodhya. You can see the marriage is happening, and they all got ready, marching. They are loaded with a lot of gifts, and they all were going towards Ayodhya. And they saw some, omens, not good omen. And they thought some trouble is going to come, and it came in the form of Parasurama. Parasurama came, and then he was angry upon Ramachandra, but then Parasurama was defeated, and the journey continued to Ayodhya. Some may ask, we heard that Parasurama is also avatar, Rama is also. Then how can we have two avatars at the same time? Right? Two avatars at the same time. Where also another question may come, how was that Rama defeated another avatar? They are all avatars. But we have to understand there are different types of avatars are there. Kartavirya Arjuna. Have you heard about this name called Kartavirya Arjuna? Kartavirya Arjuna is the one who captured Ravana and put him into a cage and took him. That powerful Kartavirya Arjuna was. He was so powerful, Kartavirya Arjuna. He is also an avatar. So Kartavirya is an avatar who was killed by Parasurama, who was an avatar, and Parasurama was defeated by Rama. Parasurama was an avatar, right? So how do we understand this one? So there is a Avesha avatar, Satya Avesha avatar. When the Rama is Purna avatar, right? He is the Lord himself, descended into the world. Whereas Parasurama is not, is an empowered soul. He has been given a specific Shakti, complete Shakti to a Jivatma. Even though he is a Jivatma, because he got a special full-fledged Shakti of one particular Shakti, therefore he is avatar. Whereas a Kartavirya Arjuna has a lesser capacity of the Shakti compared to Parasurama. He was also a Jivatma. Therefore, Parasurama was able to defeat Kartavirya Arjuna. And therefore, Rama was able to defeat Parasurama. This is how the Lord says a lot of avatars. When we read teachings of Lord Chaitanya, there are different types of avatars being very beautifully mentioned over there. For those who are interested, can refer to teachings of Lord Chaitanya. a chapter has been dedicated for that. So then they all returned back to Ayodhya. The life was very nice after that. And when Rama got married, he was 12 years old. And Mother Sita got married. She was pretty old that time. As I said, Janaka was very much worried about Sita's marriage as she was getting older. She was 6 years old that time. Okay. And Rama was 12 years old. They lived a beautiful, wonderful life for 12 years, next 12 years. Very nicely. And the big change happens in their life when Rama is 24, 25 years old. We will see that later. Sita Ram, Lakshmana Hanuman ki, Bharata Shatrughan ki, Jai, Valmiki Muni ki, Jai. I'll stop there. Stories like this, it will be really nice if we do in person, when we can see the faces. It makes the speaker to really speak better in a more nice, expressive way, and it'd be nice. But these sort of black screens with few faces, this is what we get. So sorry for my shortcomings, and we can discuss if there is anything you all want to add or share. Hare Krishna. By the way, these commentaries, majority of the commentaries are taken from a great saint for Periyavachan. So he is a great Vaishnava who has given beautiful commentaries, and there are other commentaries also on this sloka and many other slokas. What we saw is only a small section of those commentaries. There are a lot more. Okay, I'll stop here. If anyone wants to share anything.
Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, Ravi Prabhu.
We have a question. Thank you for a wonderful class, Prabhu. A question about Parashurama. He was defeated by Lord Rama. Only that during the ceremony, Prabhu, or any other time they had that encounter?
That's it. That's the only time he's done and
Only.
gone. He's gone. Parashurama never comes back into scene. You can never find him again in Ramayana. Likewise, Vishwamitra also. After the marriage, he completes the marriage. Bye-bye, see you. Happy married life. Never comes back.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, thank you for your reading. I have a question, please.
Yes, great.
Okay. So I'll show my face. You had asked us to do that.
See the smiling face.
Very nice. Yes, very nice reading. Yeah. So you had mentioned a specific order where Krishna has his Sudarsana disc and his Panchajana, his conch shell and the lips. And can you please explain that again? Hare Krishna. In other words, the importance of the order of mentioning something first and then last. And how did that arise during our discussion today? I guess I was trying to figure that out, but thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay, let me give a small background about the grammar. In grammar, when you have two names, you pick that name which is less in syllable in alphabet first, and then put the second one which has more alphabet in the second position. That's one rule. Second rule is that put the word, that one which is prominent and special and something which is great first, and which is less compared to the first one should go in the second order. Likewise, the third, fourth, and fifth. And there is a special rule that these two rules can break, provided that something is very unique, very great. Then you can bypass this rule and put that particular one in the first. So these are grammars that deals with, but the reason for me to say this one is to convey the message that how Mother Sita has upper hand, greater compared to Rama's hand. This is again is no way to minimize Rama's greatness, but this is just a way of enjoying the mellows of Rama and Sita in that mood. Not to say Rama is less by any means, but that's how the great saints enjoy by comparing them like this and like that. One will say Rama is greater, another one will say Sita is greater, and they'll try to go to and fro. So in that order, in that order, Janaka was saying that Panim Granishwa Panina, hold her hand by your hand. The question is, why did not Janaka say that by your hand, hold her hand? Can you find the difference? He did not say, Janaka did not say that with your hand, hold her hand. He did not say that. He said that hold her hand by your hand. He says Sita's hand first and then Rama's hand second. That just to say that her hand is upper, greater by all means. Therefore, her hand is kept first. For that reason, I gave an example, which is greater is placed first. Like Shankha, Chakra. Among Shankha, the conch shell, and Chakra, what is greater? Shankha is greater, the conch shell is greater, because Krishna touches the conch shell with his lotus mouth. It has been blessed constantly. And the conch shell will never leave Krishna, the Lord, whereas the chakra goes and comes often. That is why I was giving that order, to give an example. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. But it's interesting, when in my morning prayer, I use Canto 8, Chapter 4, text 17 through 24. This deals with Gajendra. When Lord Krishna, he addresses Gajendra after Gajendra has been saved. And he's talking about how there's a prayer that Lord Krishna gives him for his lack of sleep, or how to deal with the lack of sleep. He said, then the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, freed from all sinful reactions are those who rise from bed at night. So that's how the verse begins. And then Lord Krishna goes on to talk about the mark of Srivatsa, the Kaustubha gem, his Vaijayanti garland, my club Kamodakar. And he mentions in that context, he says, my Sudarsana disc and Panchayana conch shell. So he says the disc first, then the conch shell.
The reason is because over there it's not a representing the Lord appearance. Over there, the importance is given to chakra because chakra is going to take action. So the priority over there is given by the Lord himself to the chakra, because it's the one who's going to go and chop at that point of time. But in general prayers, in any stotrams, prayers, the order would be Shankha and Chakra. That would be the normal case. But as I said earlier in the grammar, when there should be some special condition, then one should not need to follow that order. That which plays more important will be kept in the starter. That's how it is.
Very nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, Prabhu. I have one more question, if I could, please. I don't mean to take over the questioning session here, but you had mentioned that Kalkasura is more evil than Ravana, so I didn't really understand that either. If you can, yeah. Thank you.
Because Ravana kidnapped Sita and put her into a place, and that place was the best place, one of his favorite, I would say, park, a garden, right? The best place he gave to Mother Sita over there.
Forest Park? He put her in Forest Park? No.
In a forest park. Right? No. So whereas, and he didn't touch Mother Sita, right? He didn't do anything, harm things to her at all. He was keeping his distance. Social distance was followed. Maybe he was wearing mask as well, who knows, when he came to Sita. But then whereas this Kakasura, whose name was Jayanta. So what he did was he was a Devata by birth, but then he took a form of a crow and then came and really, during the exile, where Ramachandra was sleeping on the lap of Mother Sita. He was just resting at one occasion. That time, this Kakasura, the Asura, the demon, the crow demon, comes and really hurts Mother Sita's chest right here. And there was a profusing, the flow of blood. Blood was just pouring out. And then Mother Sita was controlling herself because otherwise Ram's sleep will get disturbed. But then few drops were falling at Ramachandra. He gets up and he sees what, and then he asks what happened. Then he sees that the crow is standing right there. So he understood what has happened. So that is why Kakasura is much more criminal than Ravana, because he touched Mother Sita, he gave pain to Mother Sita physically. But Ravana did not do any of those things. He always threatens Mother Sita that I will eat you for breakfast, I will kill you, I will chop you, all sort of things he will tell, but he will never do anything. Okay, I heard someone else had something to say.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, I have actually a few questions. Thank you so much for the class for today. The first question is not related to the class today, but I wanted to know about Valmiki writing Ramayana. Is it the chronology is after he met with Narada Muni, and then after that Brahma, he got benediction from Brahma that he was able to see everything as if he's holding a flute in his hand. My question is, Ramayana is written while the incidents were happening or before? Or
not before.
While happening concurrently?
Yeah, the thing was not while happening currently. Things were happened, and he was also present at that point of time. And then whatever has happened was brought to him by the blessings of Brahma.
Because during exile, Rama met Valmiki in the forest too.
Exactly, he met.
On the way to
yes, he met. But then that time he did not write.
Okay, so it was written after that. Then.
Yes.
And then the next question, Prabhu, is Ramayana.
One important thing you need to know, the difference between Itihasa and Purana.
That was my question, Prabhu.
Itihasa, and difference between Itihasa and Purana is one main thing. The author and the characters are present at the same time period. They are present, and that is called Itihasa. Purana is the event has happened some time back, and the author writes it later. That is Purana. This is a major difference between Itihasa and Purana. Why? Because Mahabharata is not Purana, it is Itihasa, written as well in the same time frame by Veda Vyasa, when the characters were still present at the time.
My question was, Ramayana is also referred as Adi Kavya, right, Prabhu?
Adi Kavya doesn't mean Itihasa. That doesn't mean Adi Kavya means it's the first, very first Kavyam. There are different styles of literatures are there. Different literature. This style of literature is called Kavya in a poetic manner. Right? This is called Adi Kavya of Lord Ramachandra's lifetime. Why it is called Adi Kavya? Because there are many types of Ramayanas out there. Many Ramayanas out there. For that reason, it is said of all the Ramayanas, this is considered to be the Adi, means the first one. That is how it is said Adi Kavya. That's why all the Ramayana that we have will have to refer to Valmiki's Kavya because it is Adi first.
Okay, thank you. I have two simple questions, Prabhu. I heard in one of your lecture, I think, Prabhu, that Valmiki actually wanted to keep Ramayana like a name as activities of Sita Devi, like Sita Charitam Mahad, but it was kept as Ramayana. I forgot the reason why, because it's all about Sita Devi and her activities. I know Rama is also there, but why is the reason?
Ramayana can be named in many ways. Valmiki went through a tough time of giving a title to his book. He thought Ramayana, he thought Bharatayana. Is the glories of Bharata has been spoken in Ramayana. If you want to emphasize on Bharata, you can glorify Bharata throughout Ramayana, right? And then he thought, okay, ultimately everything happened for Mother Sita. Let's name it as Sitayana, Sita Charitam Mahatu. Then he said, okay, and he came to the Sundarakanda. He want to name that as Hanuman. He want to specifically dedicate that Sundarakanda for Hanuman. You heard this one also, right? I might have told. Okay, I'm not going to repeat that again. So therefore, yet a lot of this problem finally settled down with Ramayana. That's how it is. Because anyway, it is the supreme truth is Lord Rama. So therefore, everyone includes in when you keep Rama's name, everyone is included within part and parcel of Lord Rama.
One last question, Prabhu. Mother Sita Devi acted like a mediator for the aspiring devotees to connect with God. But in this Ramayana, we see so many personalities who did not have any guru or a spiritual master like Guha and then Vibhishan, or maybe I may be wrong. I'm just saying that in case of Sabari, she had spiritual master. But still, Rama accepted their service wholeheartedly and gave them benediction for Vibhishan and Guha. There was no mediator.
Mother Sita was right there. Here's the thing. When Lord Ramachandra went to Guha's place first, and Guha was offering Ramachandra some fruits. Something to eat. He did not accept it. You have to understand, on the second day when Guha gave another food plate, Rama ate it. The question is, first day he did not eat, second day he ate. Why? Because first day he did not have Guru Sambandha. He did not have a Guru. Therefore, the Lord does not accept anything directly without the channel, which is Guru. It did not happen. He did not have a Guru. Therefore, the first day he did not accept. But Rama accepted him as his disciple after that. He himself became a Guru for Guha. Therefore, second day he ate. Okay, therefore Guru is there, over there. And another question you asked, what about Vibhishana? Where is Mother Sita comes into the picture? Well, if you read Valmiki Ramayana, you'll find an interesting part. When Vibhishana leaves Lanka and goes on the sky with his 4 other Rakshasas, he flies. Mother Sita looks, her eyes glance falls on Vibhishana. Wow. And she asks Trijata and others, who is that going over there? And then they explain the situation, saying that it is Vibhishana who is leaving and going to Lord Rama. And she gives her blessings just by that look. Therefore, he got Mother Sita's blessings. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to approach Rama at all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
You are not asking this question. Maybe you'll ask later. But I want to tell that what about Vamanadev? Vamanadev, Lakshmi was not present. But how did Bali Maharaj got his blessings? Any thoughts? Because he's a brahmachari, right? He was a brahmachari. He can't go with his wife over there. I'm married, but also brahmachari. He can't do that.
Bali Maharaj was in the lineage of Prahlad Maharaj. Is that the mercy that he had, Prabhu?
Yeah, but where is the point of we cannot get the blessings of anyone, the Lord, without blessings of recommendation of Mother Lakshmi, Sita, right? So the beautiful commentary says that when Vamanadev goes Yachanam to beg, right? He wears a deer skin thing on his chest over this way. Okay. Why? Otherwise, people find out he is poly brahmachari. Is a false brahmachari. False brahmachari. Why? If he removes, Mother Lakshmi is sitting right there.
Mm.
Right? So he very carefully closes her like this. Right? So there, answers are there. Beautiful, it's just we have to just start hearing and reading. So therefore, if nothing, no blessings will come at all without Radha Rani's mercy, Lakshmi's mercy, Sita's mercy. That is why it is when you say Narayana, people do not simply say Narayana. They say Sriman Narayana. Sri has been added first. Just Narayana is not going to help us. Sriman Narayana. Sita Lakshmi, Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narasimha. Okay, it's going to be 8 o'clock. So we can stop here. And
Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt you, Prabhuji. Then Naradamani always says Narayana, Narayana, Prabhuji. He never includes mother anytime.
Narayana is you're getting into another detail. Even though Narayana is not prefixed with Sriman Narayana, that meaning of Narayana, the deeper meaning of Narayana includes Mother Lakshmi also.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, that's a deep meaning of Narayana, the name Narayana. It by default includes Lakshmi in it.
Okay.
Therefore, he just say Narayana, Narayana.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you all very much. Ravi Prabhu, are we closing?